understanding as well as relatable topic as well?
Yeah, so my GD went really well. I learned a lot of things out here with you guys. I was very confident as well while speaking. I started the conversation. It was me who made points and everything, and I did not expect it out of me for that. But yeah, I did everything. I made a lot of points as well. And PI went pretty bad for me because they asked me nothing related to what I have done and several things. They just asked me something very random and never even heard about it. So it was pretty okay without that. But yeah, GD went really well. So
I just wanted to understand.
Yeah.
Levels?
PI is just all about luck. It's their mood, what they're asking and everything. So it went.
That happens, but also again, like, it's also about how well prepared you are, right? I think it was Akansha who is here. Akansha had a different kind of experience because what I understood from her conversation is that when she went for the interview, they were having the snacks time and also, but I just told Akansha as well, it does not affect much on you. It does not take a toll on your interview. It does not take a toll on your performance, right? So they are like human beings. So definitely they will have certain here and take, like, here and there they'll have snacks. They'll also take a break, right? Because they also take interviews from day in and day out, right? From morning till evening, right? So even me and Naveen, so when you take interviews from morning to like even for 2 hours or 3 hours, that's something very hectic and exhausting for us, right? For you, even listening to the whole interview is sometimes exhausting, right? Mahek, I wanted to understand, like, only for 5 days, what was your uh, perception of the interview and GD before you joined, and what actually changed in GD? Was there any kind of change actually happening in GD and PA?
So I did not know how to have a conversation in GD. I've never done GD any time in my college as well. So it was pretty different from what I thought GD would have been. And it was very different. I did not know how to speak and how to make points and how to listen to patiently to others and everything. So there were a lot of things I learned. PI would have went well if they would have asked me something about my career or like something. They asked me very MBA questions which I've never even heard. I did not study honestly in like BB as well, so that was my fault.
That's something because you've done digital marketing from IIT.
Yeah, did not even ask me anything related to that. They asked me what is minutes in a meeting, so I did not know what is that. So pretty different questions. I've never heard all of these things. So it went okay till they were asking about me. But when they asked me technical questions, I lagged there. But it went well. Okay.
Minutes of, do you know now what's minutes
Now
of
I know what is minutes of. Yeah.
Okay, you did some research later on. What is it? Can you tell us?
Yeah, so basically it's the main points that it's there happening in the meeting, no? So that's like the minutes of the meeting. And they asked me the agenda. So I knew what is agenda, but I did not know what's minutes. I said that like the duration of the meeting maybe. And they're like, no. I was like, okay, I don't know. But yeah, I was not like thinking and saying that I don't know. I was like, yeah, I don't know, so I don't know. I'm not gonna waste their time as well. So these few things I did not know earlier. Otherwise, I would have been guessing there, and like at the end, I would have been like, I don't know, or something like that.
I think that actually works. See, I think we also told you that if you just if you just revolve around, beat around the bush in an interview, that does not work because they can find it out as soon as you start speaking, and then you're beating around the bush. They know that you do not know the answer, and then you're just making things up, right? So that does not pave way out, pave good for you in terms of marks or something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Sai.
Hello, sir.
So, how was your interview?
Sir, actually, interview was good. It was actually, I thought they would, because actually, I guess mine was the first day. So that there was a nervousness key, what questions would come, what would they ask, and all that sort. But yeah, I think as the day was going and groups were coming and going, I think mine was about 5 minutes. I think maximum 5-6 minutes. Not more than that. They did not ask me much anything. They just asked me like, why did I join fashion? And how would you think your life after MFM? I guess then they asked me like what like if I had said I had said that I wanted to start a, like after learning MFM and after working I wanted to start a business, like that's how it's going to change life. So they're like what kind of business you want to do. Then I was like, then there are other people also selling the product what you want to sell, so how will your products be different from, I think this was the last question they asked me. So other,
I think given that you also were no, you also prepared with us last year, right?
yes
And
sir.
again this year, right? So
Yes.
what is the difference? Like, I think for PI and GD you were very prepared, but I think that's GAT is somewhere you worked on this time.
I'm so sorry, sir.
So you also took GD and PI last year with us, right?
I took GD and PI last year. This time I took GAT and GDPI.
Okay. So how was your GAT?
Sir, GAT experience actually was good, sir, because I got to learn a lot of new things first with Naveen, sir, because he was I'm so sorry I forgot the mom's name. She was for English. So actually I got to learn a lot because like first for example case study, if I take in English, there was a lot of confusion, but I think when the classes were going on and when like we were understanding like how to solve the questions and how to solve the case study given in the paper and all that. And yes, maths and subjects taught by Naveen sir, it was actually the chapters he taught it, he used to actually, we had repeat sessions, like one stretch he used to teach, then again we used to have again a revision class, then again a revision class, and again a revision class till we had the exam. So we used to have a lot of revision classes, and he used to teach especially maths, we used to have a lot of shortcut ways so that way we can solve it fast.
Again, it's if you're talking about GAT as the first paper, it's all about efficiency, like how efficient you are when you're trying to solve questions, right? Again, you take any competitive examination. I think this goes out for everybody here. If you're going to take any examination, any competitive examination, it's not just about coming and deriving in your answer, but also how quickly you're with the answers, right? And in the end, you know that it's the OMR sheet that actually decides your fate. You may be very smart, you may know everything that is there to know, but in the end you know that okay, if you do not fill OMR sheet correctly, then you're not actually doing a justice to what is being done out there, right? I remember a case when we had a BFTech student. So BFTech and MFM, similar question patterns and similar questions as well. So you look at only MFM has more of case study based and paragraph passage, which which BFTech does not have as much. So looking at that, what he did was he missed out certain numbers, quadrennial numbers, and then he put other things, first let's say he means seventh, and then he put the seventh answer in eighth, and that happened with like let's say 20 to 30 answers, so all were incorrect, right? And even then at that point of time negative marking was not there, even then he could not make it through, right? So OMR sheet also makes things very important. So if you're filling up OMR sheet, that also you need to be very aware that how to fill it and how to actually mark your answers correctly. Okay, let's interact with Meghna here. Meghna, Akansha, Soumya. This is Madhu. Where's Madhu?
Sir.
Hi, Madhu.
Yes.
Hi, sir.
All right. We'll be discussing everything in the terms of GD and PI. GD. Okay, just wanted to get a holistic idea. I think Meghna, can you tell us about your GD topic, like all of you one by one?
Yes, so my GD topic was D2C and how it became very popular during the COVID time, and whether companies should actually start considering it and shifting to this model post pandemic. So we had a case study regarding that and we had to discuss about it. So since we have done similar topics like that in class, I was able to talk on it. And during my GD, actually, everybody, we were all numbered and everybody was supposed to speak as and when their chance comes. So it was a very good discussion, and also I had points to add to it since we had that practice. So for me, the GD was pretty well.
Okay. What about you, Soumya?
So my GD topic was is tie up of um, the big designers should tie up with small mid-range stores or not. Will that be a dilution of their status, or will it help in growing their business? That was my topic.
I believe you had covered this GD topic before your preparation, right?
Yes, yes. So
This
it
this
was good.
this was covered, I think, and we had extensive discussion on this.
There's
Not only the
different
discussion, we
but
also
same
yes.
topic. Uh-huh.
I think a lot of people received similar topics what we had discussed as part of mock GD and PI, right? In brand related, e-commerce, retail, all these things actually were asked from maybe in different forms, maybe not directly, but I think the discussion that we had actually benefited a lot of people.
In PI,
Isn't it,
50
Madhu?
to 80% questions I feel.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was very.
I
So
think
for some
that's the
students, 50%. For most of the students, 80% questions.
Mine
I
almost
think
every.
that after we are getting calls from most of you after we're done with the GD and PI, I think most of the questions that you discussed, हाँ sir ये पूछा था, and then most of the questions that we heard from you were actually discussed or asked from you in mock PIs, right? So I think you were well prepared. That's fantastic. Anyone here? Sanya,
Yes, sir.
PI mein, what was the PI thing? How was your PI?
So PI actually went very well. They told me to begin with your introduction. Then ekdam beach mein, they suddenly asked me, okay, I spoke that I have done my graduation from DME. They asked me what is the full form of DME and all, and college mein kya kiya hai. I couldn't actually, matlab, whatever I was saying, beach mein they were stopping me and asking me a different question. So, but yes, sir. So, मुझे पता था they'll do this. So I tried to maintain my confidence level, and फिर थोड़ा they asked me about current affairs. What do you know? अच्छा ये I spoke about certain current topics. Then they asked me about them. वो सब भी I revised. तो वो सब भी. Then parents, what do your parents do? ये सब भी. थोड़ा graduation से related questions. So basically सब कुछ prepared questions ही आए.
That's good. Faria, anything different from what we have heard until now? Anything that was asked from you differently?
So for personal interview, they didn't ask anything much different and all. It was basically like, where do you come from? Like I said I was born and brought up in Oman, and he was asking certain questions about that one. And why do I like? Do I like over there or here somewhere? Some sort of questions like that. And then they asked me why doing MFM. What do you gain from doing MFM? Like, what do you do after MFM? The same questions which you told us to prepare, the same questions only they asked us.
Oh, that's fantastic to hear. Akansha, what about you here? I know you had certain issues here and there, but yeah, just a minute. Naveen sir, please continue.
Yes. Apart from them order snacks or food, whatever, what was there in your PI?
They asked me about myself and my family background. So my father was in textile, तो मुझे उससे ही related एक तो question पूछे. Then all related to my undergraduate. And lastly, they asked me कि am I open to all these centers or not, and current affairs. But
so what was different? What was the question that we had not covered in our session?
Sir, except graduation, हमने सब कुछ cover किया था, but they pinpointed only economics वाला part, which I was not prepared.
But
I was prepared to the basic.
We covered graduation also, right?
Yes, we covered graduation and we did economics also. तो जितना किया था उसके apart from उनने economics का सब कुछ पूछा था, जो किया था वो पूछा ही नहीं था, तो वहाँ पे I lagged.
That's why I say 50 to 80%. I don't say 100%. तो आई कीप दैट 20% कि आउट ऑफ बॉक्स आ सकता है. Did you meet someone who was well dressed, confident, but GDPI अच्छा नहीं गया because that student didn't know what is the technique?
सर एक्चुअली इग्नाइट से इतने स्टूडेंट्स थे तो आई वाज मोर इंटरेक्टेड टू देम ओनली देन बाकी सब जो थे.
What was the role of Ignite India? This goes out for everyone. What are the changes that you see in yourself in last 1 month? What was your position, your confidence level in the month of February? And what is your confidence level now?
So for me, I never had GD or PI in my life. Like last year मैंने PI किया था, but वो भी self prepared. So earlier I was not at all confident. Also मैं इतने सारे जन के सामने interact भी नहीं कर पाती थी. But after joining Ignite GDPI की practice से, I'm able to interact with numerous people now. अगर मेरे को बोले ना कि अगर तुम अभी भी बात करो, तो I can do. पहले मैं नहीं कर पाती थी. So yes, my confidence boosted up.
What about those students who were already confident? Did Ignite
In this
India
regard,
help you in some other way?
You can also talk to Ankita here. कानपुर से है ना अंकिता?
नहीं, Ankita is from Chhapra.
बिहार.
बिहार
छपरा से गौरी है, I think. Yes.
I'm from बेतिया.
Betia. Yes, Ankita.
I think when I had talked to Ankita, I think in the very beginning she was very, very nervous and काफी underconfident भी थी, आप कुछ बोल नहीं पाते थे.
Yes, but
How was
during
your GD?
my GD was good. I started the conversation and the topic was also same, the future of retail. So we had already prepared that. So my PI was also good. I was confident both in my PI also and GD also.
Ganesha?
Yes, sir.
How was your GD and PI? We will also talk about other stuff, not just how was your GD and PI, we'll also talk about other stuff. But let's just last question from Ganesha here.
What happened in your GD, Manisha?
So my GD topic was is the Lakme Fashion Week is losing its significance or not?
Okay, and that didn't go well for the whole group, right?
सर एक्चुअली मैं सबसे पहली कैंडिडेट थी तो स्टार्टिंग में थोड़ा मैंने बोला, बट जब लास्ट में बारी आई कि सबको एक एक कंक्लूजन देना था तो एक्चुअली मैंने बोला, बट आई गॉट नर्वस. तो शायद मुझे लगा कि शायद उनको दिख गया मेरा नर्वसनेस. तो आई एम नॉट टोटली सेटिस्फाइड विद माय जीडी.
What about PI?
So PI was very good. So PI बहुत अच्छा हुआ था. They asked me very basic questions about my graduation and everything, like tell me 5 luxurious brands and all.
All right. Thank you everybody for answering GD कैसा रहा, PI कैसा रहा, है ना? I think there are आज I think प्रतीक्षा गई हैं. So Pratiksha, can you tell us?
Yes sir.
हाँ.
सर जीडी और पीआई बहुत अच्छा हुआ. मतलब इट वाज टोटली अनएक्सपेक्टेड. मैंने सोचा भी नहीं था कि मैं बोल पाऊंगी, और जितना नर्वसनेस था सारा रूम के बाहर रहा. अंदर जाने के बाद बिल्कुल भी नहीं, ना जीडी में ना पीआई में. जीडी में भी सबसे ज्यादा बोलने वाली मैं थी, और पीआई भी मेरा बहुत अच्छा हुआ. बहुत क्वेश्चन भी काफी अच्छे आए थे. मेरी हॉबी से रिलेटेड कुछ उन्होंने मेकअप से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस किए थे. काफी क्वेश्चन किए थे मेकअप से रिलेटेड, क्योंकि वो मैंने अपनी हॉबी में ऐड किया था. फिर मैंने जो बताया था कि मेरे पापा फार्मर हैं, तो उन्होंने मुझे फार्मिंग से रिलेटेड भी क्वेश्चन किए थे और मुझसे बोला था कि आप एग्रीकल्चर फील्ड में क्यों नहीं जा रही हैं. और बाकी बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन आए थे, बट मैंने पेशेंसली सारे क्वेश्चंस को हैंडल कर लिया, और 1% भी नर्वस नहीं हुई थी मैं वहाँ पे, और ना उन लोगों को वो चीज शो हुई या ऐसा कुछ. तो मेरा तो बहुत अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस रहा था.
महिमा, लास्ट क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम यू. महिमा कहाँ है?
Yeah, sir. Hi. Sorry, sir. I'm unable to open my camera because I'm outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
बताइए briefly.
So, sir, my GD went very well because, like, what I've observed, जो भी मैंने classes में सीखा, like Naveen sir always used to ping, like Mahima, rephrase your sentences and stick to the point, go with the motion or against motion. So it was actually very well, like just because of all the like mentorship. So it's like I was a stick to the topic, and it's like uh, like dominate karna and kaise karna, like dominate as in positive way. तो like नवीन सर ने और आप लोगों ने बहुत अच्छे से बताया. So it went very well just because of that. And like मैं उससे पहले बहुत डर रही थी, but yeah, फिर like मुझे सब याद आया and वहाँ पे बहुत अच्छा से perform हुआ. It was good
सिद्धात्री,
experience.
सिद्धात्री आपको यहाँ पर?
Yes, Siddhi is also there.
सिद्धात्री.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
I think we had काफी सिद्धात्री से बात होती रहती थी in the context of nervousness, how to improve, and she was always consistently asking us, सर यहाँ पर गलती हो गई, अच्छा इसमें और क्या कर सकते हैं. How do you think आपका जो था first understanding of how you expected your GDPI to be before you joined, and what is the difference you found you actually went for the GDPI?
So like I was going through my recordings the day before my GDPI, like 19. I was going through my recordings and I thought like Naveen sir ने मेरा interview लिया था starting में. I thought मैंने क्या answer दिया है, मतलब it was hayway, कोई sense ही नहीं था answers में. Then later on फिर बाद में I knew कि okay अभी improvement, and then you said one thing that don't seek for that too much of perfection, otherwise you will lose your essence. एंड देन फिर वो मतलब आप दोनों का बातों का अमेलगमेशन था पूरा, जो मेड मी अ बेटर पर्सन इन द जीडीपीआई राउंड. इट वेंट प्रीटी वेल. लाइक जितना मैं नर्वस हो रही थी थिंकिंग कि मेरा लास्ट डे है एंड मेरा लास्ट डे में हूँ मैं, लाइक इट वेंट रियली नाइस, अमेजिंग.
ये अच्छा एक बात बताओ, आप लोग में से कितने लोग हैं, how many of you actually, I'll stick to English here again. So how many of you actually have calculated your GAT marks for the from the first paper? MFM? Nobody. Why?
Sir, because we don't remember the pattern, because the whole pattern was jumbled of
So
that.
actually
Yes,
it
I
was
was about to say
so
the same.
horrible that I don't want to even remember what the paper is.
That's true.
We're talking about here first day and the last day. I think the Meghna was here who had gone for the interview on the first day, and Siddharthi here. We're talking in context of MFM here. So Meghna was the person I think over here who had gone for the GDPI on the first day, and Siddharthi you went for GDPI on the last day. Any difference you understand in terms of questions that were asked, or GD and PI, how it is evaluated, or the people who had come with you for the interviews and GDs? Any difference you feel? I think one of the major difference I found here was that that I understand, this is my understanding here again, that a lot of people were not dressed to the occasion. They were dressed very, very informally.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Definitely.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Also, sir, shorts पहन के आई हुई थी.
Guys, please, if you would like to pitch in, you definitely you can unmute and answer.
Yes,
ऐसा नहीं है
actually,
क्या?
so during the
हाँ,
first day, there was this entire group of NIFT students itself who were very oddly dressed for an interview, and बिल्कुल भी उन्होंने formal wear पहना नहीं था. And for me, I went on the first day and I was the second last student to be interviewed on the first day. So I don't know if that really made any difference, because they hardly asked me any questions. It was very, very brief for me, and it was also very direct and it went well. But yeah, there were a lot of students who were really confused कि कैसे होगा, क्या होगा, what are the questions going to be, and how is the GD going to happen. So there was a lot of confusion on the first day, is what I noticed.
sir, with the like even same with me, what Meghna said. Like they didn't ask much of the question. It was just for 5 minutes. But then the panel was all different. The panel made the difference because over there also there were different panel. And the thing was with us, we even had the tech people. So मेरे साथ तो यही हुआ GDPI में. I would like to share an experience over here. हम लोग गए अंदर GD के लिए and हमें सबसे पहले मिला टेक का जो बंदी गई थी, जो लड़की गई थी, sorry, so she got and choose the tech वाला गलती से, and then the panel is like, अरे ये तो tech का, and the first word I read was interlining, and I was like, if nobody is going to say the topic is wrong, then I'm going to say this. Because I was so nervous क्योंकि interlining, okay fine, वो अंदर के stitching का है, something related to that, but I don't know what is it about. And then later on the panel is like, okay fine, क्या करते हैं, ले लेते हैं इन लोग से papers and then हम लोग इनको MFM का ही देते हैं. तो थोड़ा सा उधर था problem with the tech people, but then overall it went smooth. And the interview, maybe the main problem was कि 3 panel में divided थे and every panel had different ways of scrutinizing things. So luckily the panel I got was much more better than the other 2 panels. Yeah, that was the experience overall. And dress code was terrible. Everybody was everything different. So yeah.
That will create a difference once you see your final result.
If you're wearing formals, definitely it makes you comfortable around people who are not dressed
You
to
know
the
what?
piece.
Everyone was there. मतलब जो हमारा ग्रुप था ना, सारे ऐसे बोल रहे थे, मतलब मेरे को लेके, क्योंकि जो नवीन सर ने बताया था ना, मैं ऊपर से नीचे तक वैसे ही गई थी. तो सब बोल रहे थे कि इतना प्रोफेशनल लुक आ रहा है, मतलब देख के लग रहा है ये बंदी इंटरव्यू देने आई है, ऐसे वाला फील था. और मुझे खुद में भी बड़ा कॉन्फिडेंस फील हो रहा था ऐसे. तो काफी अच्छा था.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Sai, you're saying something.
Yes, sir. Because even on the first day, when I was on the first day, like actually, like how Meghna said, I think it was like you can divide the whole GDP into 2 people who were actually like formally dressed and who were informally dressed. So actually, it was like the people, like actually, I remember the people who were all from Ignite, we were all in formal wear. हम लोग फॉर्मल वेयर में थे एंड वी जस्ट लाइक वी वर कॉन्फिडेंट कि हमारा एक्चुअली पीआई में और जीडी में वी वर गुड. सो आई थिंक इट वाज आई थिंक it impact of formal wear also was there. That dress also I think was on
There was around 25 students who went on the first 3 days. Naveen sir, if I'm correct here?
Sorry?
25 people who went on the first 3 days of the interview.
Yes.
More than 25 perhaps.
In first 2 days, we had 20 students. First 2 days.
All right. I think we can wrap up it for the and when it comes to the YouTube live, we can wrap it up.
But before we conclude this YouTube live, I would like to share that your result will be announced between 15th and 25th of next month. So, and right now we don't know whether counseling will be online or offline. It can be anything based on the situation and based on their decision. We don't have any perfect
Again, this is this is anticipation. This is not a statement. Okay, don't come hounding back to us because आपने बोला था हुआ नहीं result, क्यों नहीं हो रहा है?
नहीं, result हो जाएगा 25th से पहले. Don't worry about that, because this time everything is going perfectly smoothly based on the timeline. So you will get your final result before 25th of May, and after that within 2-3 days they will give you the notification regarding the admission counseling process. What you should do before that, please be ready with your category certificate. If you fall in some category, let's say EWS, OBC, SC, ST, आपका certificate ready होना चाहिए. जैसे ही announce होता है, we will launch our admission counseling process. That is entirely different thing. Like we had GDPI session, we have counseling session also. So वहाँ भी 2 group होता है. One is paid counseling, where we have different things. One is unpaid counseling, free counseling. So we have limited sessions, limited things to share. Link will be shared. Every information will be shared. We will be live on YouTube. हम आपको बताएंगे पेड में हम आपको क्या देने वाले हैं, फ्री में आपको क्या मिलेगा. Obviously Ignite student जो पहले से उनको सारा benefits मिलेगा ही.
There will be perks, but definitely it cannot be entirely
like those students who were with Ignite India, they know कि GDPI में उनको क्या मिला. Actual fee was something, उनको कुछ और पे करने पड़ा. Same thing we are going to follow in admission counseling process also, but वो अगले महीने की बात है. So till
but
then,
let me announce that admission counseling process is one of the most important process when it comes to taking counseling and admissions, because see, if you're from, even if you're from gender, there are a lot of doubts, lot of things that you might not be ready with when you go for the admissions. So in that context, you need to, when you go for the admissions, especially offline, you will have to go and produce the document. So if it is not in the correct format, what happens is they will ask you to come back again with the correct format or correct document. So by the time you come back
remember
again,
one thing, offline is risky. Offline is risky. Offline में आपके पास chance नहीं है. You have just half an hour. In online, they give you 2-3 days to correct your form or whatever you have. In offline, you get 30 minutes. That's why counseling is important.
Especially for people who might want to go for the NRI quota. So there are again a lot of complications, lot of document that is required to be filled in. Okay, a lot of verification that is needed. So definitely we'll be here to verify your documents and give it a go. So you can go with, you can go assured with all the verified documents and take proper admission. Because I remember even in my class, there was a student who was getting NIFT Delhi, but because of certain document, verification, lack in document verifications, he had come to Bangalore, right? So, and one of the student I remember is they got some other center, Hyderabad or Chennai, they had to go when they're getting Bangalore. Right.
My
so
friend
make
Mansi
sure that
Mansi didn't get admission in the first round. Luckily, her rank, all India rank was 36, so she got admission in the second round. So doesn't matter आपका rank 1 है 10 है, अगर आपके पास document नहीं है सही से, so कुछ नहीं हो सकता.
Okay. So definitely for the students who will register with Ignite India, definitely the paid one will be given one-on-one counseling, one-on-one document verification. बाकी आप लोगों के लिए, बाकी in general public who won't be reluctant to pay, we'll have a group session. We will give you the guidelines in general, and definitely it will help you. Definitely, that is the utmost statement here, that it will help you understand what आपको क्या जरूरत है, what you need, what you don't need to carry. All right, so those things will be provided to you through YouTube Live, as well as through open Zoom links. Okay, but definitely it will the free sessions after a certain point of time will be closed, and we will not take any inquiries after a certain duration of time, because again we will be overwhelmed with a lot of people coming in with their counseling questions and document verifications. All right,
Last year we had around 150 paid students. And free students की मैं बात करूं तो it was more than 500.
Okay.
So we are expecting more this time.
Definitely we look forward to having more paid students, because definitely it benefits us. But yeah, definitely free भी रखेंगे, जिनको जरूरत है उनको help किया जाएगा. But again, it's very subjective and very regulated. It's not something that you can just come by and take counseling like that. Okay. All right. After this statement, I think we can close on YouTube Live, and
Yes,
we'll have a session with our students, open session, like close session with our students. And thank you guys for joining us on YouTube. Those who are on YouTube, you can contact us on 99720 46911, Mr. Krishna, for any kind of queries that you might have. All right. Preferable timing would be between 5 to 8 in the evening. I think that timing will also suit you guys, because most of you are working. All right. Thank you on YouTube here. Bye bye. See you. Good night.